The plant manager met me at the time clock and told me to not to clock in. Uh, I was no longer employed. It was over. Once they told me that, I was in total shock. I could not believe it. I just kind of shut down and went into depression. The thought of not getting a paycheck. At my age, I was thinking, man, how are we going to get through this? That spring and summer, we just kind of show up at church.
We really weren't that connected because I don't think we were letting ourselves get that connected. We were just being independent. Personally, when this happened to him, I didn't know where to turn.
After losing the job and my pity party when it finally was wrapping down, my wife had been invited to an eGroup, and I'd been to church, and my heart at that time was open to it, and I knew being alone, it wasn't going to get any better without getting my tank filled, that I needed the church to get there. With the eGroup, it really draws you closer to God, just being committed to other people's concerns and cares, and you get closer to them and get your focus off of you and more onto them, and hoping and praying that their life, their struggles get better, and at the same time they're praying for you and your struggles. And everybody had prayed, God's gonna open a door. If he closes one, he'll open one. Don't give up. And I saw on Craigslist this job at a marina, and it paid well, and it was a manager position, and I was like, I want that job. I tracked it down. I finally found it and met with the guy, and the next week at eGroup, I told him, and everybody was like, well, when's your interview? We'll be praying. Sounds like this is something that God had in store for you. And he hired me. It was awesome. I could tell it was all God, and we kind of kid each other at work. We say, we get paid to do this. We should be paying to be here on the lake every day during the summer. It's hard to believe that you call that a job. God had to get my attention, and I think he got it when he took me from my job. And then as I humbled myself and looked to him, he had a path for me that I hadn't seen before and wasn't even looking for. God's still working through me. We now lead an eGroup, and we both volunteer at church. We help out, realizing to grow, you've got to get involved. You can't just be sitting in the pew every day or every Sunday thinking, okay, God, what's next? You got to get up out of there and get going.